you are a piece of garbage and you are going to be unhealthy. The problem with modern society is we are just constantly overloading our sympathetic nervous system. We're constantly stressed. We're so out of touch. I know it sounds a little hippie, it sounds like a little too much, like disclaimer, don't stare at the sun. Whatever you can do while still complying with, state laws and regulations. So it is just about being consistent. Try it for 30 days, commit to it, wake up, roll out of bed, wipe the crust out of your eyes, and then What is up, people of YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 most important things that I think everybody should be focusing on if you care about your health and you want to make healthier changes into your life without necessarily needing to make all these extreme and drastic financial commitments to becoming healthier. These are 5 really important things that I think play a huge role in the people who are not following them. And the best part of it all is every single one of these tips that we're going to talk about today is completely free. There's no product that you need to buy. There's no expense that you need to add into your life. So it is just about being consistent, putting in the effort, and doing them on a day-to-day basis. And if you don't do these now, if you're not following any of them, I promise you, if you start to implement them into your life consistently, you're going to see drastic improvements in your health. Number 1 is sunlight. Morning sunlight in particular, but sunlight really throughout the day. At any point in time is important, but I think morning sunlight is one of the keys to unlocking a healthier lifestyle. It's going to make such a change in your hormones, your inflammation, your circadian rhythms. Like, we have a lot of data to show us that sunlight directly helps to regulate your circadian rhythms, which is your sleep-wake cycle, right? So if you're someone who exposes yourself to sunlight early in the day or first thing in the morning is what I recommend, you're gonna find that it's actually gonna help you regulate your sleep better that night. We live in a world now where we're so out of touch with nature and the sun, and your circadian rhythms just kind of get out of whack. I hate to go back to think about the cavemen. They woke up in the sun and that helped them. That whole stigma of what our ancestors used to do is just overplayed, overblown, and I don't think that holds much weight, to be honest. But the reality is sunlight has been shown to help regulate your circadian rhythms. So I recommend getting out into the sun first thing in the morning. It's going to help wake you up. It's going to help give you a natural boost of energy. Everybody just feels better when they're out in the sun, right? So I recommend doing it within 15, 20, 30 minutes max of waking. Wake up, roll out of bed, wipe the crust out of your eyes, and then get out into the sun. You're going to start to notice a big change. This is one of the things that I've started to implement into my life within the past, I would say, 2 years, and it has made such an improvement with my energy levels throughout the day. And again, just in terms of regulating my sleep and helping me find a better rhythm that works for me, getting that sunlight first thing in the morning has been a really big help for me. Now, if you want to take this to the next level, I also recommend doing some earthing or some grounding, which is just kicking off your shoes, standing barefoot on some grass. I know it sounds a little hippie, it sounds like a little too much, like I don't want my neighbors to think I'm a psychopath or anything, but I promise you, if you can get over that, it will make a big difference. There is good clinical data to show that there is positive effects on chronic inflammation if you just do some earthing or grounding at some point throughout the day. And again, I just recommend doing it first thing in the morning. Go outside, get some sunlight. Now, in terms of the practical application of this, you want to expose as much skin as you can. So ideally, go shirtless or wear a tank top, whatever you can do while still complying with, state laws and regulations and things of that nature. Expose as much skin as you can. Let the UV kind of be soaked up. Also, a really important tip here. Well, first of all, don't stare directly into the sun. I hope I don't have to say that, but disclaimer, don't stare at the sun. But another really important tip here is do not wear sunglasses. They function to block the light from entering your eyes. They block some of those photons. Can you still get the benefits of sunlight if you wear sunglasses? Absolutely. But it's just going to take a little bit longer. It's going to take more exposure, and it's just not as ideal. So if you can, just get out, expose as much skin as you can. All you need is 5-10 minutes. I recommend going 15 to 20 if you can, but 5 to 10 minutes of sunlight first thing in the morning. If you don't do that, start implementing it. You're going to notice a big difference. Again, in terms of your energy, in terms of your level of inflammation and stress, and again, in terms of your sleep cycle, you should notice a difference if you do that for just a couple weeks. Number 2, liquid calories, cutting out all liquid calories. If you are someone who is dealing with obesity or you're someone who's overweight and you're struggling, liquid calories are a big contributor to overall calorie consumption or excessive consumption of calories. If you are someone who is trying to make a change to your diet or to your nutrition that is going to make an impact, and you don't want to make these wholesale changes on what you're eating and when you're eating and all these things, I promise you, cut out every liquid from your diet that is not water. I promise it will make such a big difference in your life. Now, if you're someone like me who needs your caffeine first thing in the morning and you have to have your cup of coffee, that's totally fine. Try to go for a black coffee or sweeten it with a little bit of honey if you need to. Replacing liquids in your diet with water is going to have such a huge impact on your cardiovascular health, your blood pressure. Being chronically dehydrated leads to a whole host of health issues. The reality is the average person is somewhat dehydrated. Being even slightly dehydrated for an extended period of time leads to a lot of health problems. So again, replace all the liquids in your diet with water. It's going to make a big, big change. Number 3, increase your step count throughout the day. You do not need to get 10,000 steps in. That is not some magical number where, if you reach that threshold, you're magically healthy. And if you're at 9,999 steps, you are a piece of garbage and you are going to be unhealthy. Like, there's nothing magical about the 10,000 step a day number. For some people, 10,000 steps a day is not enough, right? Some people average 12,000, 15,000. Some people average 20,000. I mean, ask a nurse who works a 16-hour shift how many steps she gets in a day, right? Like, it's upwards of 20, 25,000 usually. The big thing is increasing your step count throughout the day from where it is now is going to make a big impact on your overall energy expenditure, which plays the most important role in terms of being in a calorie deficit or at maintenance or in a surplus. Non-exercise activity, or your NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, accounts for the majority of your metabolism that you can actually change, or that you can actually make a meaningful impact to. I don't want to get too deep into this because that's not the purpose of this video, but certain components of your metabolism you can't consciously change much of that. Exercise is one that you can change, but the reality is most exercise is not making a drastic impact. Exercising for 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour and a half each day still leaves you with 23-ish hours of the rest of the day that you're not making a change on. Non-exercise activity, or increasing your level of movement throughout the day, plays the biggest role in terms of what you can do to alter your energy expenditure, which again is going to make the biggest change on your overall daily expenditure, which is going to be most conducive for keeping you in caloric maintenance or in a deficit, again, if your goal is weight loss. I said again like 35 times right there. Anyway, number 4, implementing 5 to 10 minute walks after your meals. This is a huge one. I probably should have done this number 2 if we're going in order of importance. But if you're someone who's trying to improve their overall health and you want to do something that's not going to be super taxing or require a lot of energy or effort or mental bandwidth to do it, implementing 5 to 10 minute walks after each of your meals is going to make such a big change. There are 2 main reasons why this works mechanistically. Number 1, it's going to help significantly with your digestion. When you start to move, you're promoting blood flow throughout your body. Blood flow is necessary for the digestive processes. It's going to help you become more efficient in your digestive process. And it's going to help you also utilize those nutrients more effectively because the food isn't just remaining in your gut for longer than it should. So the first reason is the digestive aspect, which in terms of the practical implications of that, it's going to help reduce bloating. It's going to help reduce energy crashes that you might experience if you're someone who eats and then you just want to sit down and watch TV or take a nap. And then the second big reason why it helps is insulin and glucose control. It plays such a role in blood glucose and the partitioning of that glucose in a way that is conducive to health. When you eat a meal, you're going to have a spike in blood glucose and you're going to have a spike in your insulin subsequently to that. When you start to do some form of activity, some of that blood glucose that you have an increase in now is going to be burned off immediately as fuel, right? So it's not going to stay in your bloodstream as long. Insulin is not going to have to work as hard to get it out of your bloodstream because it's literally going to be burned as fuel. So it plays a really big role, number 1, in reducing the amount of glucose that lingers in your bloodstream. And number 2, it's going to play a big role in how much your insulin has to work and how much the insulin response has an effect downstream on the rest of your body. If you haven't watched my video on insulin and glucose, make sure that you go check it out because I go much deeper into that and why that is causing such a health crisis. But one of the easiest practical applications that you can start to implement into your life that's going to have a big change on that is these 5 to 10 minute walks. It helps with the digestive process, and number 2, it helps with the partitioning of the carbohydrates that you're ingesting. So start to implement 5 to 10 minute walks after your meals. You'll notice a big difference. The important thing with this is it doesn't have to be like you're not doing cardio, right? You're not going on a jog, you're not going on a super fast walk, you're not trying to get into a certain heart rate zone. It should just be a brisk, leisurely walk. You just want to be getting your body moving, nothing super crazy, nothing super intense. And then number 5, and arguably another really important one, is sleep. Start to focus on your sleep, improving the quality of your sleep. Now, this does not mean sleep more. Again, I'm trying to give you practical applications that aren't going to require drastic changes in your lifestyle. Improve the quality of your sleep. It's not always about the quantity, it's much more about the quality. Sleep improvements can happen through many different things: reducing blue light exposure close to bedtime, making sure that you're sleeping in a good environment that is conducive for quality sleep, which means a cold, dark room. You don't want to have a nightlight, you don't want to have your TV on. I'm going to do a whole other video on the importance of sleep because I have a whole presentation of the problems that sleep deprivation can cause. It is arguably the most important thing that you can do, is focusing on the improvement of your sleep. It's gonna have such an effect downstream on the rest of your life. Your cravings are gonna go down, your energy is gonna go up, your training intensity is gonna go up. Like, improving your sleep is going to improve so many other facets of your life that I would say arguably it's the most important thing that you can do. Another big thing is regulating your sleep-wake cycle. So in terms of improving the quality of your sleep, one of the best things you can do is being consistent with your sleep-wake cycle. So go to bed around the same time, wake up around the same time, 7 days a week, right? The more consistent you become with that routine and that cycle, the more high quality your sleep is going to become. And then a little bonus one that I'll say is the sixth tip. If you stuck around this long, congratulations. Leave a comment to let me know that you heard this sixth tip, and that is implementing some kind of breath work or meditation into your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be something crazy or complex. It doesn't have to be something that is intimidating to you. Start with something very basic. 5 minutes of simple breath work. Just focus on your breathing. You don't even have to do any type of fancy methodology or anything like that. Just stop, take a moment, 5 minutes, and focus on your breathing. Count how long it takes you to breathe in. Count how long it takes you to breathe out. Now, there are a lot of methodologies of breath work that can help you take that to the next level if you want to look into that. YouTube is a vast resource for that. There's box breathing, triangle breathing, Wim Hof breathing. It's just about being intentional. So the reason breath work or some form of meditative practice works is it increases parasympathetic nervous activity. So your parasympathetic nervous system is the rest and digest part of your autonomic nervous system, right? You have your sympathetic, which is your fight or flight, right? It's your adrenaline, your epinephrine. If you see a bear in the woods, sympathetic activity goes through the roof. Parasympathetic is you just ate, you want to digest your food, you want to rest, you want to calm your body. Again, everything exists in a balance. The problem with modern society is we are just constantly overloading our sympathetic nervous system. We're constantly stressed. We're constantly focused on where we need to go and what meeting we need to get to and when we need to pick up the kids. And there's just so much stress. You're constantly activating the sympathetic nervous system, which leads to a lot of health issues, right? It leads to high blood pressure. It leads to anxiety and depression and all of these issues that modern society faces is a result of overactivation of your sympathetic nervous system. And when that's chronically elevated, you have chronic stress, which leads to a lot of issues. Again, I'm gonna make a whole video series on this too, and how to start to lower your stress response and how to implement things that can improve your stress resiliency. And the easiest thing that you can do starting today is to just do some intentional breath work or meditation. Again, it's gonna help to elevate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to in turn lower your heart rate. It's gonna lower your respiratory rate. It's gonna lower your blood pressure acutely, but that has positive effects on your overall levels of cortisol and all these stress hormones that if you're someone who's chronically stressed are elevated all the time. And doing something as simple as 5 minutes of breath work each and every day can have a really big impact if you've never done it before, so give it a try. So I hope that this video was helpful. Again, the 5 most important things, in my opinion, that are free that you can start doing today. Morning sunlight. Within the first 30 minutes of waking, just get 5 to 10 minutes of morning sunlight. If you want the bonus, take your shoes off, stand on some grass, replacing all the liquids in your diet with water. Number 3, increasing your step count, just moving more throughout the day. Number 4, 5 to 10 minute walks after each and every one of your meals, which if you start to do that and you haven't done that before, you're already increasing your step count. So those kind of go hand in hand. And then number 5 is improving the quality of your sleep. The bonus tip is some form of parasympathetic promoting activity, which for most people, the lowest barrier to entry is, again, breath work or meditation. So again, try these things out. If you want to focus on your health and you don't want to make these drastic lifestyle changes, implement 1 or 2 or up to 6 of these into your life and let me know how it goes. Try it for 30 days, commit to it. I promise it will make a big difference in your life. If you're someone who wants to be healthier and you just don't know where to start and you're so overwhelmed with all the information out there, I don't know what to do for exercise. I don't know what to do for my diet. I don't know what to do for blah, 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 blah. If you are struggling and you're new to this and you want to make practical changes to your life that are going to have a long-lasting and sustainable impact, please reach out to me. Set up a consultation with me. Check out my website, send me an email, fill out a lead form, do whatever you have to do. Drop a comment down below. I'll get back to you. I would love to help you out on this journey. 2025, I hope, is the year of a health revival, and I want to be a catalyst to that. So again, if you're overwhelmed and you don't know where to start, just reach out to me. I would love to get you started. I've been doing this for 5 years, guys. So if you like this video, prove it by hitting that button. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you learned, what you agree with, what you disagree with. And as always, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on more content like this. Peace.